This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
The Stanley
And then one day, something
Parable.
very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alrighty. Stanley. Employee number 427. Now we're gonna step out of our office. This movement is very slidey. Feels like we're on a water slide. Hello? Employee number 429, are you there? What's that artwork? Nothing. Look at those.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's very possible. What have we got? Some very fancy mugs. Don't know what that says. 431, where are you?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Huh, who farted? Oh, that guy's sole job is sharpening pencils. Very important documents. Ah, don't we all? What have we got here? Loading something? Alrighty. Meeting room we go. Oh, very pretty vista. Still no one about. Hello? Hello? What's that? Maybe someone was in a rush. Knocked over that. No time to clean up after yourselves. I must have been sleeping when something went down. Hate Mondays. Still no one about. Oh, what's going on here? Some repair work. Not for us. Oh, what time is it? Is that 3 o'clock? Hopefully it's not 3 o'clock in the morning, because then that might explain where everyone is. Hello. What does that say? This quarter. Not sure.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Why do I want to go to the door on my left? What if I want to go to the one on my right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah. You never know, there might be someone in there. Our office doesn't seem to have many choices of artworks. They keep repeating them. Must be on a tight budget. Oh, is it still... Oh, the time's changed. So earlier it was 3 o'clock and now it is 12?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yeah. Well, I could definitely do with a cold drink right now. But we must press on.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Technically I'm not sitting. I'm walking around. And
at this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Ah. Fine.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Well, there was only one door, so... yeah. Oh, what do we have here? Oh. You want me to go in that room? I'm not going to go in that room. I'm going to go straight ahead.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Alrighty, I won't stop lying. Okay, so we must be in some kind of architectural firm. Makes sense. I've got someone whose sole job it is to sharpen pencils. Very nice. Bit of a chair. Nice and cozy. Still no one about. I guess we press on. Very nice. So we only have one choice really, I suspect. We are going to be walking across this. Warning. Do not jump from the cargo lift. While it is in motion, will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. Well, I guess we...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's this mysterious woman?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who's she? It's like we're in some kind of Amazon warehouse, that's the word. Oh. Oh, hello.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Let's pick up the phone. Four, two,
Oh,
seven.
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I'm just gonna leave.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh. How mean. Well, fine then, big meanie.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 247. Press 8 on your keyboard. I'm gonna press 7 instead. Oh, nothing happened. 8.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I'm just going to ignore that right now. Looking at this painting, I thought there was a ghost poking its head out of the old wooden desk. Just wanted to mention that. Hello, wife. Or not wife or something. I'm just not going to press E. Oh, can't even go this way. Well, I guess we have no choice.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Q.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press 8 to watch TV. 8.
And so
What?
he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press E to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press 9 to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Press B to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free.
Oh,
Surely
no.
there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press 4 to tell your wife you love her. Oh, darling, I love you dearly.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Press K to go to sleep. But I don't want to go to sleep. I'm enjoying my life as a 427. I love sharpening pencils. I love putting documents in the different coloured filing cabinets. And I love typing on my computer. But fine. I will do this for you.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Press O to be at work in the morning. Well, I want to go to work.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press L to question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Oh, what's happened? I guess I died. Oh, well.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. Well, I guess if you ignore the narrator, you die. So
When
we're going...
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep, we enter the door on the left. I didn't actually realise you'd die in this game. Makes sense. Yep,
Yet there was not
in
a
the
single
meeting room.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Meeting room. Floor 4XX. Meeting schedule. Fun. Oh, office party. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. R.I.P. Friends. Wonder who Friends is. Not efficient Monday. Get Chris out of the broom closet. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Please keep the targets on the topic of... Oh, that's been smudged out. I thought it was just, blurred. Alright. Well, our colleagues aren't here. Oh. The Boss Appreciation Minute. On your Boss Appreciation Minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you find yourself in a conflict with another employee like yourself, remember it takes 2 people to start a fight. What are your dreams of the future? Plant life, football, pollution, mitosis, clear skin, hope, less old, comatose, travel. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less, don't get fired. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Nice. To do. Quarterly pie chart profits. Monetize free to play. Alrighty. We are now going to... Oh. We can actually open this door.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Wait a moment. I just want to admire this broom closet.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Oh, there's plenty of reason to still be here. I'm admiring this yellow...
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Alrighty. I was just about to admire the good work that our game devs...
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yeah.
Standing around doing nothing?
Yeah.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I was giving you an explanation, but alright, let's continue on. Ooh.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Do we walk upstairs to our boss's office? Well, we know what happens when you don't listen to our Lord and Saviour, the narrator. Let's see what's downstairs. Oh, it's dark and a bit scary, isn't it? Oh, scary red light. Hello.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
Oh.
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I am okay. That didn't work. I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
We did.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
I guess that's
And
us.
although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
We did. Alrighty. Now we're gonna...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, we are going to go up this time rather than down.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Speed running strats. No time to
Yet
dilly-dally
there was not
today.
a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Hello. Boss's office. Pretty fancy. Compared to the rest of... Oh, executive bathroom. Very executive. I love your wallpaper. Very snazzy. Receptionist isn't even here. I probably hardly ever come in here, so... Hello, boss, are you here?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Oh.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
2, 8,
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2, 8, 4, 5. Super.
Yet
Super.
incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Newly opened passageway. Where is that? Oh, right here. Can we play on the piano? No. Hello. What have we got? What have we got here? That is insulation. Very portal-y right now. Oh, where are we going? Red button that must not be pressed under any circumstances.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Hello, where are you, boss? Co-workers, best friends, wife?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape, escape, escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
It's an escape. We're not gonna die.
The
We're
door
gonna
behind
escape.
him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Escape.
At this point,
Escape.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
We're gonna escape. What have we got? Escape. Escape. Oh. Escape. I think we died.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
Can I jump out?
Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and
No, I
shattered
don't
life.
accept it. I don't accept it.
Stanley,
I don't accept it. I want to jump out. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Ah! Ow. Oh.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Who's that imposter? I'm not dead. Where's the narrator gone? Hello?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Hello?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Nature paintings. I told you, we only have budget for 7 nature paintings. A leaf that is sometimes also mysteriously really pixelated. What have we got? Yes. The different types of doors. There's only 3 doors. 2 doors. Filing cabinets. Different types of computers. Employee database. Solitaire. Something. Credits. Original music. Credits. Button sounds. What have we got in here? Plants. Where I met my demise. It's all a bit too much, really. I'm going crazy. Ugh, Warzone. We're in some kind of modern art museum now. What? I don't understand. I don't understand. The lounge. Two options. The vent. We need to find a way out. Go back to... We need to go back to the mind control facility. Hello? Hello.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I want it off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not.
No, I can't see.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can
Hello.
still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
We're going to take another path. The imposter. The imposter's voice. Can't listen to it. Hello. 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 Is it over? Is there any way to get back to the mind control facility? Do I have to actually start the game again? Yes. Okay. Off we go. And from now
When
on...
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Going through the meeting
Yet
room.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah. Boss's office, and we're going to put in
Stepping
the code.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I
What
can't
could it
remember the code.
mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. So the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Off we go.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
We go down, and this time we are going to listen to the narrator. Come on. Oh, we have to press the button. Here we go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility. What are we gonna do now? What have we got? There's a button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
I thought
Did
for a
he have
second
the
I was
strength
falling.
to find out?
We're going to find out about this horrible facility. Do they have pens? Are they using pens and not pencils? How dare they? My good friend, employee, whatever, put so many hours into sharpening those good pencils.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
But there's no one about. Strange. What can we do? Do we go this way? Employee. Oh, one of them was fired.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I can't believe it. How could our boss do this to us?
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
No.
His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Quite possibly.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Let's dismantle the controls. How do we do that? Do we do that down here? Nope. Have to go up here. I want to dismantle them. Mind control idle, awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Off. Oh. Hello. Can't even see where I am.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes.
Oh.
He had won.
Yay.
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Whoa.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I want to walk in that country. end of the Stanley Parable. I'm going to now walk and see what the alternative ending is if we were to not turn off the machine. And while I'm on my way to do that, I am going to just talk about my thoughts as a narrative writer and game designer. Righty, so the Stanley Parable, very cool game. Multiple endings, a staple of walking simulators, and one which I am going to be heavily drawing on for the development of my own game, Spear, which is a walking simulator, horror, narrative, psychological horror game. I quite like the usage of the narrator being a large plot device for telling stories and encouraging the player to think a little bit about what it means to be a player playing a video game, and how very often we're told one thing and we kind of just do it without thinking. And I like the fact that he's a bit of an antagonistic force as well. Plus also, the humour's pretty good as well. I quite like the fact that the narrator isn't a dry, boring, lifeless thing. He's got character.
Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This game has very much Portal and Portal 2 vibes, which I also can get behind.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Brilliant. Okay, now we're back in the mind control facility area. We're gonna be just seeing what the other ending is, and then I feel like we've fully explored this game. But if there's other endings that I've missed that you guys know about that I didn't experience, please let me know, and I might do another playthrough just exploring that. Otherwise, I think I've fully got grips, got an understanding of what this game is about now. I mean, it's really surprising, this is the first time I've actually played it, so I've managed to avoid spoilers before now. Probably seen creators like Markiplier play it for the first like 10 minutes, but apart from that I didn't know anything about this game.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh, right.
But here Here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls
Let's
labeled
see
with
what
emotions.
happens
Happy
when we
or sad
pick
or
the
content.
other
Walking,
option.
eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
What
And
happens
as the cold reality of his past
when
began
we
to sink in,
turn it back
Stanley decided that this machinery... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yeah.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Oh no.
How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
Oh no,
Now this is
2
making
minutes.
things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is.
How do we
More
get out
time
of
to
this?
talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Oh, how do we get out of this?
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them.
What?
I turned off the machine. I set you free.
What?
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not?
Aw, thank you.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Yeah, I have
Or
no
did you
idea.
just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean,
Yeah.
look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten?
Yeah.
Won? Solved?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley.
3.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
What happens if I
This
go
is not
up
a
here?
challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you
No.
can't.
Don't.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds
Oh,
until a
no.
big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately
Goodbye,
to your frail
employee
life, or will you let it
427.
go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And
Yeah.
believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Okay. Goodbye. Oh. going to say this is over, but
All
got
of his co-workers
difference.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What's different?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
There was more papers in that one.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What's going on? Wonder what happens if you go through here. Okay, so you can actually open that. Cool. Because the boss knows what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Very, profound words right there.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean, he wondered. Desperate for answers, he began turning the room over looking for clues that might unravel the situation, until at last he discovered a keypad behind the boss's desk.
Alright, I think there might be a little bit more to this game, but for now we're going to close it off here, and I might do a little bit of research to find out how much more of this game's got to go, but otherwise, if that's it, well, that's the Stanley Parable. Thanks for watching.